probably have to check on your end to see how I sound. I'll I'm gonna turn myself down a little bit because I've actually all the times I've ever done streams I've always been like the loudest, and I'm not saying that that's like my intention, but there are just times where it's like my volume is just super loud, and I'm like, oh my bad. Right, right. Yes, we're live. Are you able to hear yourself on the stream? You, yeah, because I don't want to just be me. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Oh yeah, my desktop audio isn't. Wait, why isn't it working? The heck? I can hear you, but it's not coming through my OBS. Okay. 1 second. I knew something was wrong. I knew something was gonna happen. Hold on. Hold on. OBS audio. Advanced audio properties. All active. I'm pretty quiet, but I can't hear you. Citrus is not talking. I can't. He can't be heard, but he is talking. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. How do I get my desktop audio to? Under pressure. No audio capture. It's okay. Desktop audio. Okay. Now try saying something. Ay, son of a. Ay, butanginan. Hold on. I got this. I got this. Nothing. Wait a minute. Oh God, I showed my face. Oh God. like, well, it's all my OBS crap. Hold up. Why isn't my audio working? Or why isn't your audio working? Damn it. Dude, oh, I'm so sorry for this. Holy crap. Dude, oh God. The pressure, man. It's just gonna be an hour of me just freaking out. Okay, I'll do new audio capture default. My headphones. Okay. Now say something.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, dude,
Testing,
yeah, it's
testing.
moving. Oh, it's because my wireless headphones weren't weren't working. Okay, audience, can
Oh,
you hear
have you got it now?
Sirius? Yeah, because I see the bar going up and down.
Okay, okay.
So
Oh, yep, there I am. There I
yeah,
am.
there. Oh, okay, I did it! Oh my God.
All right.
I'm so sorry, dude.
Hello, everyone. Oh, hi, Maz.
Once it's working, leave us alone. Don't judge me.
We figured it out,
No,
Maz.
I'm here to provide emotional support because
Oh,
I
good.
am the one who placed this burden on you.
I would love some emotional support right now.
No, okay, so
Um,
I can explain this one because on Wednesday I upgraded to doing a wireless headset on my computer, and I forgot to tell OBS, hey, whatever audio comes through, it should go to my headphones. So even though I was able to hear you, OBS was like, "There's audio, but I don't know where to put it." So that's the best layman's terms I could explain it.
I
So
see.
yes, because the reason I have wireless headphones now is because sometimes when I'm playing games and I die or it's not my turn to play, I go to my corner of my room and I stretch out
Yeah. I know
yeah,
exactly what you mean.
So welcome.
Got
You
to go
joining us in
upstairs, get a
town?
coke. No, I'm playing Counter Strike and then I'm going to bed. I just wanted to see if I could help you in any way.
We appreciate it, buddy.
Just hold my hand. Hold my hand. Like,
Thanks for checking in.
I like that transition you did though. That was pretty sick.
Oh, to his upside down face.
Shut up.
He also had like a transitional animation. That was sick. You'll have to show me
Yeah,
how to do
that was
that.
pretty cool.
Oh yeah. That's when I was really into streaming last year, which I'm trying to get back into soon. I paid like $10 for this custom package of all these like transitions and all these like all the things that you see on my own like Twitch channel. That's all like stuff made by some other whatever, all custom. So yeah, I'm a pro streamer, man. Check out my OnlyFans. No. Okay, so let's get into the episode. Thanks, guys, for going through the technical difficulties and watching me
See you later. Happy Valentine's Day. I'll leave you two lovebirds alone.
Dude, Baka, stop it.
Me and Bacon just together for sexy episode 69.
I was so irritated when they mentioned that, when you guys mentioned that in chat, when I was like, hey, I'm actually almost caught up. Can I join? And you guys like, well, it is episode 69. And I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
you would show up for this one.
I didn't know. I labeled this as episode like 10 in season 4, but I forgot that each episode they give it a definitive number. So yeah, dude, it's so in terms of for me right now for Attack on Titan as a whole, I did not know, and like I know you guys were talking about it in chat, but I was
Mhm.
so out of the loop come winter that when people started talking about, because I haven't consumed any Attack on Titan content since like 2017
Okay. So like
because
season 2?
yeah, season 2 walking into season 3, so probably 2018, because I was reading the manga and I reached all the way to the point past the basement to the ocean.
Mhm.
And after and that's when I was 100% caught up. I'm pretty sure someone could connect the timeline.
Yeah.
But I was all after I got caught up, I was like, and as a manga reader, I'm like, cool, I'm caught up. I'm just gonna let the rest of the chapters build up because I could marathon it in a day. I blink and everyone, including you guys, was like, "Yo, final season," and I was like, "What year is
Yeah.
that?" Holy what? And
You blink and 4 years have passed.
dude, oh, I'm horrified. And then I talked to a few of my buddies at work, and I was like, "Yo, so do you guys know what's in the basement?" And they're like, "Dude, that's old news." And I was like, "Oh God, where?"
It's funny because I remember, like, when the
Oh,
first season was airing, people being like, "Oh yeah, the manga is like 5 years ahead of this anime, and we still don't know what's in the basement." And me being like, "What?
oh
We're
my
never
God.
gonna get there." And they're like, "Yeah, the basement? Dude, we've known about the basement since, like, as long as I can remember."
Dude, and that's the crazy thing of all this. It's like I know it's more of a broader spectrum of like all of like anime Attack on Titan, but I keep forgetting like how fast things are going because now we're in the final season and the manga is like what, so they're trying to like end the manga and anime at the same time, but like different endings. And then you have and on that side here you have Promise Neverland like going in a different direction, and I'm losing my mind because I'm thinking like I'm just so out of touch. Like my mind still thinks the new stuff is like from 2018. Like my
Yeah.
brain is still like back there, but I start to forget like, oh yeah, Kaguya has a second season, and I'm like, oh
Uh-huh.
yeah, oh crap.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you there.
Yeah,
It's like the stuff from last year feels no more recent to me than the stuff from like 5 years ago.
you could show me something from last year and tell me that it was airing this year, and I'd believe you because I just don't know
Yeah, well,
anymore. Like, and
exactly.
it's I can't catch up, but going through like Attack on Titan now, and I like the direction it's going in terms of just like now we know like where our place in the world is as of right now and how much effect we have on the world because they're gonna go to war with us. And I've been so, other than Yu-Gi-Oh, like we were talking about earlier, I've been so addicted to Civ 6 that my
Oh my
brain
god, dude.
is firing in terms of what's going on. I'm treating Attack on Titan like
Treating
system.
Attack on Titan like a game of Civ 6.
See, I am. So it's just like
That's so funny.
it's because like I was like dying when like in the few episodes ago when the Marleyans who betrayed their military were like, hey, we
Yeah.
actually want to help you Eldians out. And then when Hanchi was like looking at like the guns and like, oh, dude, how you do that? And he's like, they're all like blowing her mind, like, hey, we're actually developing aerospace technology, like where we could just fly over your walls. And like, she's like,
Yeah.
what? And I
Yeah.
love that because like in
It's a
Civ,
big Civ
it,
moment. Yeah.
dude, in Civ, if you have low science, and like you send an army out.
Science is like the only fucking thing that matters.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm all about religious builds because I've won so many games with religious builds.
Oh,
But
really? I always turn religious victory off because all that happens with it is
it's
the
easy.
AI just like spams a billion fucking missionaries and clogs up the whole map.
I beat my buddy because we were trying to do a quick game, so we ran me, him, and two other CPUs, and I knew the locations of the CPUs after like turn 20, and I was like, and my buddy conquered my capital, and he's like, haha, because he was Alexander, and me, I was just like, wait a minute, I know where you guys are. Hold on a second. I spammed missionaries and apostles and I won in like 30 turns. And he's like, how did I lose? I was like, you idiot. You didn't see the apostles inside your own civilization. Yeah. But going back to it, I was like, it's just those moments in that moment of when Hanji was learning about like the military engineers and stuff. It's like your technology is so different because you like and so what's fascinating about humans is like you develop technology for yourselves to combat the Titans, and that's like how you triumphed over that, while the rest of civilization was trying to triumph over each other. So all their science was going into like anti-Titan warfare, but also anti-human warfare, which is why they have armor vehicles, guns, and like stuff like that. So it's those moments of like, dude, Hanji is like, if you think like planes like are blowing your mind right now, dude, wait until you find out like what we're like, wait till you find like cell phones and stuff like that. And I don't know where they
Well,
are
they're not
in the
quite
world.
there yet. It seems like they're like World War One ish technology.
Yeah. Panzer Squad. Wait, Panzer
Yeah.
Squad? And I stuck my head out when I heard that. I was like, come on. There's a tank
Yeah,
squad?
maybe a little bit beyond World War One.
Yeah.
But you know, they're using like blimps and shit, so that's like early 1900s.
Yeah, it's a good spot because it's the
Yeah.
and I do like how they emphasize and this was like mentioned in chat for another episode, but the fact that Titans and like the weaponizing of the special like Titans is becoming more and more obsolete every single like
Yeah, I think that's a really, really cool dynamic.
yeah, because you could almost treat like the colossal Titan as a nuke
Right.
and it just
Well, I was
decimates it.
actually thinking while watching this episode today that they're like, yes, the rumbling is like the ultimate weapon that the entire world won't be able to stand against. I'm like, we're
Because
like 30 years out from them just nuking the island.
I know it's like well the rumbling feels to me it's like it's a because it starts on the Paradise Island and it's a
Right.
mobilization of like all these mobile suit Gundams. Ah! And it's just
Yeah.
it's gonna be all the way they portray is all these colossal titans marching together, and it's like
Right.
such a different and slow burn to like World War II when you drop the atom bomb and then it just decimates everyone. And it's a really interesting because they're both the same. These are things that are going
Right.
to decimate whole societies, and we're pocketing it and basically holding the world at gunpoint.
Right.
And I kind of like the direction this is going because now you have the rest of the world who's been warned of this. How are they going to counter it? And
Right. Yeah.
ha ha ha, repeat of history because just like in those ancient scriptures, it's the Titans versus the rest of the humans. And
Everything
then,
else.
yeah,
Yes.
and so basically this is the greater scale of it where it's like colossal Titans versus military prowess and engineering
Yeah.
and science. So
I,
it's
I totally agree. I really like the direction of everything the whole season has been going. That said, this episode was kind of buns, dude.
yeah,
Like, I'm not gonna lie, this episode sucked.
it
It
was just
was
more information, and I kind of got lost at one point. I was like, wait, are we present time or
Yeah, like they were
back then?
jumping around the timeline all the fuck over the place. I couldn't follow when anything was happening. Like half the shit people were talking about didn't make sense because of that. It's like
Yeah.
the they felt like they pulled so many things out of their ass. Like Mikasa suddenly is like the long lost queen of
Royalty, dude. What the?
royalty to a nation that we didn't know existed until like 3 or 4 episodes ago, and the ODM gear is powered by like magic rocks? Question mark.
Oh, I did not like that. I was like, get the hell out of here. Really? It's just they called
Yeah,
it gas, They never
yeah.
showed at any
Like
point of
it's
like
been
the
like a plot point in the past when like various scout units have been like low on gas, and now they're like, oh, but actually, the way these run is there's a magic rock that makes them go.
So
um,
yeah, this is totally like again like Civ and real life talk. It's like I want to go there to get those resources because that's gonna help us, and that's
yeah,
it's like I've heard that and seen that concept before of hey, if we make this deal, I help you, you help me, but actually I'm helping more me because you have no idea what I'm gonna do to blah blah blah, and that's where I kind
right.
of lost a little bit of faith in like kind of the plot point right now. I was
Yeah,
just
and
like,
it's
okay.
weird. It's weird, right? Because the conflict has been set up so well and so naturally about just like the cycle of violence and like generational grudges and stuff like that. That why do they need to introduce this shit? You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I think if they were to do that, they would have probably hinted at it earlier. Here are two things. I didn't know Mikasa had something on her wrist.
Yeah, because they've never shown it to us before,
Yeah,
ever, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, like they showed. I mean, she's wearing her jacket. When she was a girl, she had a long sleeve. Whenever she
Yeah.
was working out, I guess she had like her hands taped or like
Yeah, I guess
boxing
so.
gloves on, and it's just like yeah, they never hinted at it, and so that was like random. And yet Aaron knew about it the whole time. Like the only
Right.
thing that kind of connects that was that one thing in season one where like she was gonna be human trafficked, and they're like, oh, she's Oriental, she's Asian, she's like a delicacy, and I was
Right.
like, that did kind of give me a little more faith in the theory that there's an outside world and she just happens to be there because there are nationalities here. Um, and so that was random. And then they talk about like she's an Ackerman, and I'm just like, oh yeah, so like you're half royalty, half like badass like fighter. Like I'm just like okay,
Uh-huh.
I don't know what to make of her at this point. Like she's cool, but at the same time I'm thinking like, oh, so what's the end game for you? Like queen
Yeah.
that likes to fight on the front lines like Gorgo or Leonidas. Like what is this, man?
Right. Like I like I've been saying for several seasons now that they've got to do something with Mikasa because the entire rest of the cast has like grown and changed so much from their just like annoying kid versions. And Mikasa has not changed at all. Like all of
Same thing.
her entire role in the show is that like during the fight she yells Aaron angrily and then after the fight she like softly says Aaron forlornly. And that's it. That's the whole character.
Yeah, but
But
pretty watered down
but
at
like
this
this,
point.
this ain't it, Chief. Like, yeah, you got to do something with Mikasa, but this is definitely not it.
I agree. It's you don't really have an end game with her because that's what I start thinking about in terms of this because I've already kind of made the peaceful mindset of everyone's gonna die. In my opinion, I think they
Yeah,
should
probably.
die because it's
Yeah,
war and it's, if you want to take the classic war route, everyone dies or at least one person survives with PTSD. Sure,
right.
and Aaron's gonna die because like his days are numbered because of
His time is running out. Yeah.
his power, and then I they didn't need to have that moment in the cart. You remember they're just like, well, I want you guys to be safe and you
Yeah,
guys are
that
my
scene
wife.
was so fucking weird too. Like the
It's like
way everybody talked in that episode was like so stiff and inhuman.
yeah, it's
Not
just
that
like
not that episode, but like that scene.
that scene because it wasn't until that moment where you guys were kind of solidifying that you guys are actual like friends and you guys actually care about each other. Like, did you guys still treat each other as comrades for the last 5 years? And then just now you're like, yeah, man, I'd be very sad if I lost you. It's like, yeah, I could tell by
Right.
your actions that you feel this way, and the fact that they had a moment of just I mean, I could kind of get them roasting each other like, oh, he finally says it, but it's kind of like, yeah, stiff is a good way to put it. It's just like, oh, we're all blushing now, and oh, I love you
Yeah.
too, man. It's like, I mean, at the end of it all, like you and the thing is they're so traumatized by all that's happened so far that there's like a lack of comic relief in that entire scene. Usually there'd be a comic relief character that'd be like, oh, you got the hots for each other, huh? Like you could give
There's
me
something
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were so just stoic. Like, yeah, I don't want you to die. I should die. No, I don't want you to do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
But and then the way Coney was roasting Sasha, and it was like the most like uh rickety type of like, sorry, we can't trust the Titan to an idiot. I'll be the Titan. And Connie's like, wait, you said we can't trust it to an idiot. You're an idiot. And there wasn't any
Right.
laughter. It's like, what are you?
Yeah,
What?
right? Like that should be like a funny thing. She's like you're saying you should take it, you're an even bigger idiot than I am. And instead he says that and then they just like look at each other and say huh back and forth 4 times. It's like
Yeah.
what the fuck was
I'm
that?
like, what was? I want to read the manga scene to that. Like, I felt like there was something missing. You either, like, I'm not a director. Maybe a comic relief moment, or I guess people were probably like hoping to ship them as like, oh, like
Something was lost in translation there. Yeah.
yeah, maybe they should have blushed and been like, oh, like so you want me to live and all that, and it's Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, this episode's underwhelming. And oh, by the way, Historia's pregnant, and I was like, okay, okay.
Oh yeah, let's just throw that in there, dude.
And then they never revealed who it was, and they said it was some
I
dude
I
who
think
was.
it was just some random guy who doesn't matter and we've never seen
No
before.
way, really?
Yeah, because they said it was like some guy who just like lived near the farm where she grew up.
Ah, Jesus. So, and they were trying to treat that as some sort of defense for her to not take in the Titans. This is where I get a little like irritated. Like I thought we're kind of done with all the blanketing of this information kind of deal because we know kind of what the problem is now. We're gonna get conquered, or we fight back and conquer everyone else in this sort of thing.
Right.
But now they're talking about how, yeah, they're trying to protect Historia and they need royal blood and all this stuff. And I kind of want to get past that and kind of get to the final battle. It's probably me being impatient.
Yeah, no, but I get you. Like I'm in the same boat, and if I understand the need for there to be like a little setup and a little downtime between like the battle scenes and everything. But
Right.
if this is how we're spending the setup time, then I'd rather just be through it already. Because
Sure.
it felt like they were doing a good job setting everything up, and then this just kind of muddied the waters in like a ways that don't really make sense.
There was a really lazy form of foreshadowing that didn't lead anywhere. Which was the military police were ranting about how Historia got knocked up and now we're
Right.
doomed. And then the
Yeah.
Marleyan was like, "Oh, hey, you should this is perfect wine for them." And I'm like, "Okay, he's
Yeah.
gonna poison the
Is
military
he gonna
police."
poison them?
Yeah,
I can only assume that that's what was happening there, but they didn't show any of the consequences of that.
I mean later on, but that could have been done. That they could have cut out that scene and put in like in another episode of like, oh, why are they choking on that water? Then they just flash back to that. Like one of the only times I would suggest a flashback, but
But,
it's
did we see them die or anything?
no. I'm saying
No. Okay. Okay.
if they do die, they're gonna use 10 seconds of screen time to flash back to the moment where a bottle of wine
Right.
was rotated.
Yeah.
Blaze Dancer says he's quoting one of the things that happened in the episode. The dude that
Yeah.
knocked the story up threw rocks at her to get her attention. I'm just like that sounds like my kind of pickup line. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Right.
hey, you heathen, you're cute. It's just like, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Um, that probably the only thing that made me kind of laugh in this episode was how, since this was a 2 years in the past kind of deal, and they're building a freaking railroad with like 3 kids, four kids.
Yeah. Right.
It's like you have Mikasa carrying all the metal work, and I'm like, I get it, she's strong, but it's like, let's be real here, dude. You're trusting 4 people to build a railroad, and there's no outposts. There was just material. I'm like, how far out are you guys?
How far out are they? Yeah.
Holy crap! It's like,
It's gonna take them like 10 fucking years just to build a railroad
like,
to the ocean.
dude, like,
Like,
yeah, the logistics was not making sense. And again, Civ, it's like, do you know how long it takes for borders to expand? What
yeah.
time is this, dude?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, this episode could have been like pressed down to 10 minutes and give us more content. So I don't want manga readers to spoil anything, but if there's something that if you guys could tell me, like, was this episode were these manga chapters necessary? Are we now stepping in the direction of, is this gonna be a different ending? And
I don't think that's the direction or anything.
ugh,
You know, I don't know anything about the manga, but it didn't
right.
seem like that. It just felt like kind of sloppy presentation, you know?
Yeah, I like to think it's sloppy, and I do understand how, I don't know. I just find it weird. It was just coincidence that the I don't want to say this in an incorrect way, but the Mikasa's bloodline, Japan.
Yeah.
It's Japan. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's Japan.
I was gonna say Asia, but I'm just like, what am I talking about? So Japan, and like somehow they left her family there, and like they didn't survive, kind of thing. Um, they were able to so easily make it onto the island, kind of deal, like unscathed. Back then is what I'm saying. It's because like, oh, like King Reyes was like, oh yeah, let them in, kind of deal, or like, yeah, let them onto the island. And so I have a feeling that there's probably like a way, like, because I think the bad guys in this entire thing is obviously the Marleyans, because they're at war with everyone now. They're trying to make peace, and like the whole world's been like developing weapons to fight each other because they have the power of the Titans. So
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming that this is gonna be kind of like a decimation of Marleyans, probably at the end of this. I kind of want to go in a dark direction like that, just to see like
Yeah.
what's going on, and like, oh no, there's good people there, but the Marleyans, and all of a sudden history repeats itself. Now you have an internment camp for Marleyans. It's like, you know what you
Right.
did to us Eldians, and they start kicking them down. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a premise and a setup now where it's hard to imagine there being like a good resolution to everything at the end, you know?
Oh well, yeah, there's not gonna be peace. I
Right. Yeah.
I highly doubt there's gonna be peace. Like I cannot imagine a colossal titan signing a piece of paper like, oh yeah, we're good. It's just like no, like the big
Yeah,
handshake.
that is a
And
good image.
yeah, I stupid stuff in my head. Oh my god! But dude, just like the things I think about, like with the technology and science I use like take down to take down like the Titans, right? I'm now
Yeah.
starting to like question, like, because again, going back to the whole how Zeke handed the maneuver gear to Japan, and they're
Right.
like, oh, this is powered by a special crystal kind of deal, and I was like, okay, oil, and then in my mind I'm thinking, well, since everyone else beyond the ocean isn't aware of this new technology, are they gonna do a hybrid of this, just like how they did with Kenny's equipment, where it's like a hybrid of 3DM gear with guns and swords? I can now imagine, like, okay, what are they gonna do? Like, are they gonna make like a squad of like flying people again, but it's gonna be like
Right.
actual like aeronautical science plus cables plus swords? And so I'm like picturing like a weird like aerial Viking battle in the air against like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a King Kong. Like you see every colossal titan gonna be mobilized and rumbling, and every single one's gonna be
Right.
attacked by squads of like that's what I picture. I just picture the most outrageous war of like these technologies all like converging together kind of thing. Because I can imagine people in the overseas being freaked out like they were when they saw uh Aaron or like Mikasa and them using the 3DM gear for the first time.
Right. But that's a good point that I hadn't really considered because Zeke giving her the 3DM gear would have been a few years in the past now. So does that
True.
mean that like in the next battle when um inevitably if they activate the rumbling and invade the mainland and everything that like the Japanese now have 3DM gear that
Oh yeah,
they'll
the world will be
use to fight
ready.
back? Yeah.
Right. And the thing with the rumbling too is like, who those titans are inside the walls, do they have a conscience? Like
Well, I
they
think the
will, right?
idea is that the founding titan can control other titans.
Oh, that's right. Okay, because I was thinking
Yeah.
like I was thinking Armin. Like, are they gonna like shrink them down and then explode them all together like nukes, or they're just gonna march together? Which I think the
I think they're
marching
just
is
going to that Aaron or whoever has the founding titan at that point can direct them.
interesting. Interesting. God,
Yeah.
this is so much like Civ though. Like,
Right.
there's like the amount of science, the science is different, but it's also the same. But it just
Right.
reminds me of a game that I had that I was like super behind on science because I was doing like culture victories and stuff. Dude,
Uh-huh.
I was in Japan. I sent samurais in to fight, and my buddy was like, "We need to kill them. They're ahead in science." I'm like, "Okay, wish me luck." I sent my guys in. The dude already had a military of like corpse and stuff, and my
Yeah.
samurai got shot. My samurai got shot in the head, and I was like, "No!" So like, I was thinking that like, I want to see moments like that when the technology and just the bolstered forces is too much kind of deal, like
Yeah.
where
Oh, Nikos Hager in the chat points out that they could only use the 3DM gear with these new magic rocks.
so they have to. Oh yeah, that's right. So if they created their own. Well, dude, again, it's humans and technology when it comes to war. They're gonna find a way.
Right.
They're probably gonna make a better one that's oil powered. They're probably gonna make a better one that's like gasoline
I
powered
mean,
kind of deal.
it's compressed gas,
It's
There are
compressed
lots
gas,
of
but
ways
what?
to
Wait, is this magic rock they're talking about the hardening rock that's like under the The
I
island.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's
Holy crap!
like
Dude,
like
I
the
used the
magic crystals
Titans
that were
to
in
kill the Titans.
the magic crystals that were in like Rod Reese's like secret underground chamber.
They're gonna run out, right?
Um,
Or is it like where Aaron's hardening ability needs to be keep creating that?
I have
But
no idea. Well, I don't know if it's the same stuff as the hardening.
because you
It
can't
might
break
be.
it. Like how are they
It might be.
mining
I don't know.
that? You know what I mean? Because isn't that supposed to be like incredibly strong and that they can't break it? Because I thought it was dope when he used like the jaw titan to crush the
Oh, that was really
the
sick.
yeah, that was cool. It's like, oh, so you're strong enough to cut this stuff. So I hardly think it's that stuff, even though it would be kind of funny. Just like, oh yeah, we have the technology
Right.
to mine that. But yeah, oh yeah, there's rocks on this island that can only be powered by it. I was like, that's what? What?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Overall, this episode was underwhelming. His story's gonna have a kid. Aaron's going crazy. He's got two powers now. I didn't think that was possible. I thought like,
Well, he's got 3 titans now.
what's the third?
So he's got the attack titan, the founding titan, and the warhammer titan.
Oh yeah, that's right. For some reason I thought attack and founding were the same.
No.
My bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
See, it's all. So are we aware of every single Titan now? There's
I think so. I think the warhammer titan was the last one.
Okay. Oh, okay. So we're all aware of all of them. Yeah, I think all I want now is pretty much just like let's go forward in time. I saw the preview to the next episode, but I think the conclusion I want to reach in all this because it's true. We're slated for what 16 episodes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I think it's been confirmed that that's not actually going to finish the story.
Wow.
There'll either be a movie afterwards or like a split core kind of deal or something like that.
16 and 16, great.
Yeah. Because I think the final chapter of the manga is coming out like next week or something.
Yeah, so buddy of mine at work, he said he's all caught up with the manga and he says it's ending like next month or something like that. However much it's releasing.
Yeah.
So no spoilers, but his statement about this was he said that like I don't question his anime knowledge. He's watched a lot of stuff and he's about the loot stuff too. But he
Sure.
ended up saying Aaron Yeager in terms of pure development is one of the most well written characters of all time. And I was like, that's a very bold statement.
That's a bold statement.
I would love to challenge that because I can name a few off the top of my head. But
That sounds like the statement of someone who
casual-
knows
a
a good character. Yeah, someone who knows a good character when they see them, but doesn't watch a lot of things that have good characters in
I'll tell you
them.
right now, his next statement 5 minutes later was, "I want more Dragon Ball Super to release." So I was like, "Yeah, that answered my question. Yeah, sure." But good, cool guy. But yeah, he's about that.
Hey, you can like Dragon Ball Super and good shows. But yeah, I mean, this is not to denigrate Aaron. Aaron is a well-written character, and I like him a lot. But
Yeah, well, like
it would have to be. They would have to do a lot in the last 6 episodes plus a movie of the show for him to become one of the best characters I've ever seen. He's like maybe cracks the top 100 for me.
That's saying something. We're like, I'll give you the 90 spot. Okay, how about that?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like Aaron now, it's like, look how they massacred my boy. But I get it, man. It's like he's been fighting for so long, and it's like so many people have died around him. It's like, oh, dude, Civ 6, man, dude, they're experiencing war weariness. Okay, they're tired, and I get that. It's like so much has happened. We lost Sasha, and it's like, dude, how much longer can you go? And yeah, he was giggling about her death, and I maybe he is turning into a madman kind of thing, like all the Titan powers going to his head kind of deal. But if he's probably gonna fall in battle because like we have all this. I'm waiting for the next nation to develop a nuke though. That I know that's kind of a dark thing to think about, but when they kept,
I think there's a non-zero chance that happens in the story.
Really.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say that I'd predict it, but I think it's possible that nuclear weapons are introduced by the end.
They're getting close. They already have flight, and they're working on an air force. It's like there's got to be some scientists out there where it's like we got the this guy right here, he could build it, man. You know, his name is
It's a little bit of a stretch from the current tech levels we've seen, but not that much of one.
tech levels. No, dude, they got a great
Yeah.
scientist somewhere, dude.
Yeah, but they're just beelining nuclear fission.
Dude, I've done that before.
Yeah,
Dude,
so it's like, you know, when you got the one line of the tech tree that goes all the way up like an era in the future on the side, and then you've never like researched past basic shipbuilding, so you're still doing like you've still got like
I feel attacked. Leave me alone. I feel so attacked. Like when I got my first nuke set up, I forgot I need to launch it out of a bomber or a ship, and I didn't research anything else. I was like, oh, I'm just loading nukes now.
I think this was in Civ 5, not Civ 6, where it was like it was possible to just do the tech path in such a way that you could like research stealth bombers before you like researched basic flight.
What?
Yeah, you could like
no way.
You could get the tech that gives you stealth bombers before you got the tech that gives you like biplanes.
Oh my god. So it's like, hey, we created the biplane. That's cool now, but check this out. Like, wait, when did you have this?
Yeah.
I don't know. I need you guys to catch up. Packy says
Yeah,
the
yeah,
manga is ending in April. Been confirmed for a while, only 2 chapters left. Ooh,
Okay.
That's still pretty far.
Yeah.
Well, in the future, I would love to play Civ with you, man. Just so you know.
Yeah, do you do the same thing I do, where like you'll play Civ like 4 hours a day for like 2 weeks and then not touch it for the next 6 months?
I'm in that state right now. Like I played it
Yeah.
so much end of December, beginning of January, because how busy I am now. I because there's no such thing as a short session of Civ. Like, oh, I can play for an hour. No, that's
Nope.
nothing. That's nothing.
Right.
But I'm basically just trying to let it simmer, and I'm probably gonna hop back on it when I have like a full day to myself, kind of deal. So that's the thing.
While we're talking Civ, I'm going to take this opportunity to shill a cool thing on the internet.
Please.
Which is the subreddit r/Civ Battle Royale.
Okay. Let me look this up. Okay, go on.
So it's a thing that has been going for probably like the better part of 10 years now. It's been a long time, but it's been like an ongoing series of like Civ AI games where basically it's just like an extremely heavily modded game of Civ 5 with 60 AI civs, and then you edit out the player civ and just like observe all of the AIs do battle on
okay.
like a massive like true start location Earth map and everything.
I'm looking at a map right now. Interesting.
Yeah, and like a new one just started last week, and they are very cool. The people who run these games put so much effort into them, and it's a lot of fun.
All right, I want to be able to keep up with this. I
strongly recommend people check that out. It's like some of my favorite content on the internet.
All right, I want to check this out for sure. Okay, I'm looking at a map, and okay, so it's updated weekly, daily,
bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. Okay.
Yeah.
So
because the games are so intense that like once it gets into
it's turn 200, it's like takes forever.
Yeah. Well, the previous incarnation of the Civ Battle Royale, eventually it just got like so clogged and everything that it was taking like more than a day of processing for each turn to pass. But they said like with improvements they've made on this incarnation and everything, they've recorded up to like turn, I think 1,000 or so.
Oh my god!
It's still only taking about an hour to process each turn. So.
Oh, dude, God, it's so large scale. I love it, man.
Yeah, it's really sick.
Oh gosh,
and there's backlog of like all of the previous ones and everything. If you check out,
so each civilization's turn and stuff like that, like what they did and stuff like
that. So the original, it started from someone just on r/Civ who just did like an AI game with just like the base vanilla civs in the game, and I believe Australia won. And then someone was like, okay, let's take this and like let's blow it up. Let's like add modded civs. Let's make a huge map. Let's do the most the game can possibly support, which is 60 of them.
Oh my god!
And so this is the third, I believe, of those like full size, full scale ones. And the first one eventually, like, the dude's computer just like couldn't handle it and it crashed, and we never got like a full resolution.
That's great.
And the next, no, this is the fourth. The first failed. The second actually came all the way through. The third had like a bug towards the end that just like stalled process completely, like I was saying, and they had to like reboot it with just the ones that were still alive on like a smaller map, and that ended up finishing. And then that ended like a year and a half ago, and since then they've been like constructing the new build.
But we're gonna
For
build a specialized PC just to run this simulation.
yeah, like literally that's what they did.
That dude, I'm all for it.
So they spent like a year and a half like constructing this build and testing all the mods together and doing test games to make sure there were no bugs that would crash it or anything. And then just last week they finally kicked it off, and
Dude,
episodes.
why isn't there like a YouTube channel that's like not displaying all this, but there needs to be a YouTube channel or something like that where someone like a Civ like expert or like someone that's a fan just like us that does a full summary of what happened in this turn. Like here's
There is.
Oh, wait, where? Oh, go
Yeah,
on.
so if you just like go on the subreddit, when we are way off from Attack on Titan now,
No,
but
no, we're at the end of the episode. I have all I have to say about
yeah,
it.
there wasn't much to say about this episode aside from the fact that it kind of sucked.
Yeah. So now we're gonna chill Civ. So please go.
So you can either see all of the screenshots from it with like people's written summary of everything that's happened, and it's like dozens of screenshots, all with narrative and everything, or someone does audio narration of them.
Oh, I would love this. Oh, they're looking for narrators. Oh, I might toss my hat in the ring for that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Do I have a script?
I'll post the link to the audio narration for the first episode of this season.
Oh, nice. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you for getting me into another part of my addiction. You're not helping.
Dawkins is the guy who does them.
Oh my gosh. So one fun Civ story before we end this. In one of my recent games, I rage quit for the first time because it was just me, AI, and I was Gorgo, so I was Greece, and I was like 89 turns away from culture victory because I'm just trying to get every victory. I've gotten everyone except for domination and diplomatic. I feel like diplomatic's easy. So at one point, I looked and said 89 turns till culture victory, and I was like, cool, got this in the bag. Then all of a sudden, Switzerland started keeping up with me and sending bands and rock bands and stuff to my area. All of a sudden, it said 50 turns till Sweden's victory, and I was like, uh-oh. So I rushed nuclear fusion and everything else, and I'm like, you can't have a culture if I nuke all of it. So
it's always a culture victory until someone pisses you off, and then it's a domination.
I know, but here's what happened. This was my first time doing a full game with the new DLC, so Rise and Fall and everything else. And so I sent a nuke, and I obliterated one of their cities. And I'm just like, good, I have 3 more on the way, so I could just keep creeping up and like adding more. The entire world did a world summit against me saying Greece has used nuclear weapons, we need to stop them. They all banded together, Rome bulldozes me, and I was like, no! So I forgot about that mechanic where they could vote against you. Like if you do something that's unjust and you have no grievances, like they're obviously gonna turn against you because you're a piece of garbage. So at that moment when I lost like my capital, I just turned off my computer. I was like, yeah, I think that's the last time I played because I was like so frustrated. I was like, dude, like my rock bands kept failing. What's going on?
And that's what's going to happen in Attack on Titan 2.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be nukes, and then
the World Congress is coming from him.
Dude, like I bet Paradise Island has like the best resources and luxuries because of that stone, and then and they have like not the best production because they're within walls. Okay, I'm done. Time to talk about just,
all right.
What kind of yields do you get there, bro?
Thank you everyone for listening to the RCiv podcast.
I'm down to do a Civ stream with anyone in the future. We'll plan that in the future.
Next week for the next episode, hopefully it'll be better than this one was, and then we'll actually have Attack on Titan stuff to talk about.
Come back. It's like, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. So it's just me fixing my cards.
Thanks everyone for tuning in, listening us talk about Civ instead of Attack on Titan. We appreciate it, and we'll see you